So we are broke down again today, and I'm gonna do a bunch of story times and get them out. But we're over here at Crowley's again. Let's take a look at this 6140 Thunderbird. I've worked under one of these. They are sweet little machines. We have not went over or been in the cab of one of these before, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity. This one, oh boy, whoever was the operator needs to have his fingers slapped for not cleaning his machine. Oh yeah. So like we've talked before about the swing yarders, you know, we got the open panel style here, joystick, in haul, neutral, out haul. Shoot, it's been so long. One of these buttons is to slack the skyline without having to engage it. Something I'll have to do some reading up because it's been a long time. I mean, you know, it's pretty much everything is the same. It's a yarder. It's got your frictions and whatnot. This is the skyline peel brake, haywire friction, tachytutor, heater, AC. I would probably assume that AC is shot, but yeah, this thing needs a little bit of love. Where's the hour meter? Hours. You know, all your gauges here. Should be an hour meter around here somewhere. Oh wow, they ripped the AM/FM out. Must have worked for a guy we all know. That's got to be wrong. 62 hours. It absolutely has to be wrong. But sweet little yarders. They can be ran as a standing skyline, you know, with Acme whatever on it, or you're running haul back, the MSP style carriages that we've talked about. Very, very fast moves, rig ups, passover guy lines. We're gonna go over that a little bit more here. Hey bud, how you doing? I don't know if we went over the passover guy lines much. Alright, see how they're all three in a line? And same with the diamond there, that's still a sweet yarder too. The passover guy lines is when you get your guy lines out and you change roads. Like with Stacy's yarder, we had to move all three guy lines. With this one, he got it out. Let's say we started here and we're going this way. Well, when you get over to here, then all you got to do is bring this guy line, whether it be under or over, you know, so you're only bumping one when you do that. It's really nice to try to set it up to where you log into your 3 and bump 2, and then you can go 2 or 3 roads before you bump again. And then this, when you're ready to transport, this lays back into that, locks, and then it's again, here's your haul back, comes up through block purchase and then back up. So by going through this little pulley and down and back up, this is making the line stronger and the drum more powerful. You pull this down a little bit, knock these pins off, and then start letting this gantry over. That thing gets heavy when it gets out here, so you want the extra strength and strength of the line and strength of the pull power and whatnot. And oh man, they're just sweet little yarders. Just sweet. If only I could get back on one of these again, would be a pretty good adventure for all of us, because they are so fast. You know, when Stump came out and weighed, oh man, my knee is really bothering me. He timed that TMY50 of Roses and was very impressed with it. And I told him, I was like, Stump, this thing's wore out and it's absolutely slow. These things are extremely fast. I think that's a pretty good idea. Other than I'd want to lock on it. Because these, yeah, where the older yarders, you know, like the Diamond here has a doghouse to put tools and stuff. These do have spots, but they're Yeah, so you ain't getting much in there. You ain't getting much in there. So a guy needs a spot to put something, because if you are thinning and moving a lot, just picking that stuff up all the time sucks. Me, I would somewhere probably back here behind the cab. I think it'd be a good idea to weld like a tow hitch reciprocal thing, and then put a have a vise, and then some kind of maybe a little bit of a table that you could slide in there, bolt on, or pin in, and that way if a guy chaser had to work on stuff or splicing lines. TSY 6140 SLR. Now I'm gonna do a little research and make sure, but I think there are two different style 6140s. There's the SLR, and then there's another one, and the SLR is the better upgraded. That's the one that I worked under, and we actually, the guy I worked for had this and a TMY 50, and this was a better machine. He actually, the first unit we did with the TMY 50, he started it with the 6140, and yeah, they did a lot better. They were, where they started, it was shorter yarding, bigger wood, and so on and so forth, but they still did better. This is one of old Pete Bailey's old diamonds. Skyline Thinning Company, Springfield, Oregon. That man was an absolute amazing hook tender, side rod owner, whatever. He never screamed and yelled or nothing like that, but boy, he could surely make you feel bad without screaming at you. But no, he was a phenomenal teacher. I wish I'd have spent a little more time with him, because he definitely had a lot of knowledge to give. And these diamonds are sweet yarders too. God, they're fast, really fast. If I was to put the diamond against the Thunderbird, the diamond has more, or the Thunderbird has more power, logged a little bit bigger wood. Speed wise, they're about the same. The diamond is a 3/4 Skyline machine, where the Thunderbird is a 7/8. So you're gaining a little bit on that 7/8. Gosh, yeah, what a nice little machine, boy. I wish that hour meter wasn't the cab here, like I say, it's just dirty. They just didn't take very good care of it. But I don't know the circumstances either. They might have been such a thing that they worked 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 hours a day, and by the time the day was over there, this guy was like, forget it. Or it could have been a situation where the boss was not willing to pay a guy a little bit to come up on a weekend and clean it, or provide the materials and whatnot. And it could be such a thing. I did have one yarder in here that spit his Copenhagen right between the pedals there, and it was absolutely disgusting, and we took care of that right away. Nice little machines. But anyways, yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to get the information about this, because the reason you would want to slack the Skyline like that is if you're swinging the land turns. And then one of these is the horn, automatic. Here's your Sky or your Acme Eagle functions. Guyline winches, tink tink tink. Guyline dogs. Strawline, yeah, that's a Strawline clutch. And then here's the brake and friction seatbelt. I've had rigging slingers that were rough enough you needed to wear your seatbelt. Yeah, I'd definitely be getting an AM/FM in it if I was going to be sitting in this thing for much of a period of time. So yeah, cool little machine. I'm glad I decided to come over here and see what he had, because like I say, I needed some content for video. Oh man, my knee is really bothering me, people. And Nelson Stroud has just been up my anal cavity about wanting to see more of the 071. I'm not absolutely sure why, because they are a slow 71. Oh wait, they might have one over there in the corner, you little homo. I'll go look. Let's see what we got over here. Oh, he's got 2 diamonds. That's why I did not notice it saying Pete Bailey before, because this is the one that was here the other day. And then here's our beast. Oh yes, our beast. 62.55. Or no, that's just a 255. That was not, this is not the one that was here when we, oh, we gotta go check this one out. Oh, look at this, good idea. Yes, 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 yes. See what I'm talking about tools and stuff, having a spot to put something? Yeah, this isn't the one that was here when we were here. We are going to, jeez, we're just gonna have to check everything out. Anyway, so they did make a 6255, which is the upgraded model. You know, the cabin controls like the 6140. Sweet machines, sweet machines. These diamonds, if you're going to be thinning second growth, Doug fir around our area and others, you know, because I don't know that much about other areas or regions, that's definitely this yarder. And in the 6140, the only difference, like I say, is it does run a 7/8 Skyline, so you're going to have bigger guy lines, bigger lift trees, rigging and stuff like that. And this diamond is the one that I ran, or the one that I tended hook under and ran quite a bit of it. You could set that thing anywhere and it would spool. Never hardly ever had to crib it up. The only reason we would crib it up would be for operator, you know, not convenience, but to make it nicer for them. I did have a couple of operators that were all chunky and way overweight and thought they were way better than I thought they would, so I wouldn't crib it up. I actually had one of them, you know, by the end of the day my stomach hurts because it hangs over to the side, and I'm like, maybe that's an incentive to put a little physicality in your life, you chunk. And he quit. Can you believe that? What a crybaby. Oh yes, 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 big boy, big boy. Oh my god. But same design here with the, you know, to let that gantry over. And yeah, that is a big old, that's 3/4 swedge power pack haulback. Now why are they using, shouldn't it should be using this drum. But wait a minute now, because that's front main, rear main, and haulback. So why do they have big line, small line? This should be, yes, it should be, I think, unless I need to do some checking. But yeah, because that's the front main drum, rear main drum, and then your haulback. So you should have your 7/8, or no, that's inch, and that's inch. Oh Lord. Yeah, odd. I wonder why they did it that way. I'm gonna have to ask. And I think this is the yarder that was here when we were here last, because I got hung up on this seat. Yes, it was. It is. No, it's not. This is not the yarder that was here. We're gonna have to go back to the video and check it out, but I don't remember this being there. And I know that that haulback was not threaded like that, so we are going to have to find out. I don't think this is the yarder that was here before. Yeah, we're going to have to go back to the video and check. And Eric Crowley is here today, so I'm going to talk to him. I did ask him if he'd do an interview, and he was like, not today. Dang it. Oh my, this thing's an absolute beast. God, maybe it is the one that was, I don't think it is, but it could be, because I remember the haywire being tied off just like that. Ouch, good Lord. There's something going on with my own knee bone. But I don't remember the haulback being tied off like, or threaded like that. I don't get it. Oh, look at that big old Medill with a Warthog on it. 38C. Boy, that's a huge machine to be putting a Warthog on, or a dangle head. It's the, yeah, that's the 624. It's a big one, but I would probably assume to say that that Medill is a wore-out old shovel auger, but still had good life in it. So instead of getting rid of it, they put the dangle head on it, leave it on the landing. So let's go over here and check out. Oh, we got a tongue thrower to look at too. But we better go look at Nelson's Limp Penis 071 first. No, I am not a big fan of the 071s. SK290. For some reason, this Kobelco, I mean, I've got my heart just pitter patters for the Kobelcos. I'm not sure why, but ouch! Oh boy. All right, Nelson, here's your homophobic 071. I'm not a big fan of them. I mean, and there's just, the track frame just sucks. They're always either breaking or you have to pull them around. I don't like the way you rig them up. I don't like the way you rig them down. They're just, I mean, they got a lot of poop to them, and they are a inch machine, you know. They were built back in the day to pick up old growth corners, so you didn't have to have speed and agility. You had to have power, but didn't want to spend all day rigging up a, you know, a 8 guy line machine or whatnot. So the cab's all tied off. Yeah, sorry, Nelson. You ain't getting it today, buddy. But I did have Thomas Norgan, little buddy. You asked me about a tag drum, okay? So here are your Skyline, Hallback skid line, your Haywire, and a tag drum. Tag drum is just basically another Haywire drum, but a lot of times the tag drum was a little bit bigger line because they used it on the mechanical or slack pull. Ouch! I'm losing my thought here. Like the Dynamo drum lock cars that I explained and whatnot, you know, to use to pull the drop line in and out. So that's the idea behind the tag drum. Nowadays, like the 172 I worked on had a tag drum on it. We ran a Sky car. Well, I did put a little bit bigger size line on it than the Haywire I was running, and used it as a road changer line rather than using my haul back. Not every time, but I did. Boy, that Pierce is sick. That is absolutely awesome. God, I hope someday I want to get a chance to be around one of these and run one. Huge benefit to this, and there are a couple of guys around here doing it nowadays, and I think it's a good idea, you know, on these thin insides that aren't hugely productive, 12, 15, 20 loads a day. Having a processor and a loader is expensive. So with that Pierce, you can work under the arter, process, and load with it. Because of the way this grapple setup is, it's supposed to be a lot easier to load. I have never loaded with a dangle head, but I have heard, and I do know that because of the way the knives are set up, after the log is processed and put in a nice neat pile, they have a hard time getting a hold of them. So there's something about the way that these knives are designed and whatnot that makes it easier to get back into said deck and load multiple stems at once instead of just one at a time. That nice little machine, 2454 John Deere. I'm really starting to get a pitter patter in my heart for cat equipment too, guys. I know there's something going wrong with me. Let's drive over here and check out this Link-Belt tongue thrower, huh? Yes, oh, there she is. Oh God. Oh. There's my sweet little 4000 Medill beast log loader. Oh my god, that thing is sexy. Oh my god. Yes, you heard me right. I don't know. I woke up the other day and something in my heart said, you know, give Cat a second chance. So I am. 240 LX link belt. It's a pretty little shovel too. I have a tongue thrower on it. Wow, and it's beat up. Oh hey, this is one of Pete's old machines too. I didn't realize he had any tongue throwers. I thought he had all Yoders. Oh man, look at this operator. He left cigarette butts in here. You know what that does for guys like us that are smokers? Yeah, the next guy comes here and then the boss is like, no smoking in my equipment. Clean up your cabs, guys. Lord, look at this. So, okay, yes, that's not right at all. That's a big drum. That'll hold a lot of line. Holy smokes, that'll hold a lot of line. Cool little attachments. The tongue thrower is a really cool idea, and if you get a good operator, I have worked around one guy that could throw. Years and years and years ago, worked for Tim Card, and it was I can't remember which brother it was, but it was one of the Drago brothers. Oh my god, he was a good shovel operator, and he could throw line. So the drums back there, and those drums are super fast, but up here in the horse head is, oh look at that, line's all tore up, is the same kind of configuration that's in the line splitter car. That line comes up over, and then when it comes through there, there's another wheel in there, and that's why it's called a tongue thrower, because it's actually spitting that line out the end of that. And I've seen a couple of different, you know, guys do it differently. That guy, oh man, I wish I could remember which one of the Drago brothers it was, but he would get a little bit of line out and he'd start doing like this with his boom, and he'd get that line going like this, and he'd spit a little bit out and he'd go faster, and he'd pull it in and out, and he'd get that thing going so fast, and then zoom, and he could throw it. Oh shoot, the one job we was doing, I bet he was throwing it 300-400 feet. It was amazing. I was like, yes, I love you. Little Acme 10, is it, or is it a Pee-wee? No, it's a 10. So this would be for your Yoder style, smaller 5/8 Skyline type of machines. So that is a Pee-wee, because a 10 would use a 3/4. Oh, that is 3/4. So no, okay. Anyways, they make one a little bit smaller that is for, you know, your Yoders or tongue tossers or whatnot. Lighter, smaller, you know, the whole 9 yards. And the Acmes and the Eagles they're absolute strong machines, and they're great. They absolutely are. If I had to pick one over the other, which one was better, it'd be hard to say. Probably I would say the Acme. I think they do have a little bit more features, and with them being made right here in Eugene, our support is, you know, so much quicker. 648. Ouch, god dang it. Ooh, man, my knee. John Deere skidder. Rigid Tree Logging, Sweet Home, Oregon. Well, that's dandy. I'd like to have a set of chains like that for my pickup so I'd never have to miss any work because of being snowed out. No thanks. Oh, yes. Look at the chrome front end. I'm telling you guys right now, if I was running this machine, that thing would get polished every weekend. I don't care how old and faded the rest of the machine would be. That chrome front end, yes, and I would do on my own time, my own materials, so on and so forth. So you didn't get a whole lot of look-see. Oh, it's got chrome in the back too. Oh my god. At the Limp Dick Slow 71 Nelson. God, you're making me feel bad, but I suppose I should go into them. But like I say, there's a lot of guys that run them around here, a lot of guys. And they do get logs, but Acme or Van Dam, I'm not sure what they bought up a bunch of these, and they're refurbishing them. And what they're doing is they're putting a new undercarriage under it, you know, a new different high excavator style undercarriage, upgrading the motors. They're putting a 3-speed transmission on them. They're pulling the cabs off and putting the same cab that is on that 172 Medill, which is, oh god, I may not make it out of here today between those two. Anyways, putting the 172 style cab with the configurations, joysticks and all that, and they're called an 072. So they are faster. They're actually pretty sweet machines by the time you get done with them. And if I understood it right, this is a Guyline ring, and this is where I'm talking about, just like with Stacy's, you know, you can't bump one, you gotta bump them all. If I understand it right, on the 072s, somehow they have integrated them into the tube and made them passovers. That is not a for sure, that's just what I've been told. We have time, maybe that would be a good idea to go over to Acme now and check that out. Oh god, video opportunity, here we go. Check out that toy Medill. Oh. I gotta have one. That's cool. Oh my god, that's cool. I absolutely have to have one. So I'm asking permission to go out in their boneyard because they've got some cool stuff. Oh yeah, these must be all, yeah, pictures of all the places or companies they've sold their carriages to. New Zealand, Oregon, Roseburg, Oregon, Arlington, Washington, Zeeland, Astoria, Oregon, Dallas, Oregon, Sweet Home, Oregon, Gresham, Washington, Myrtle Point, Oregon, Philomath, I know that M&D, good guy, Banks Rocks, Gales Creek, Oregon, Sutherland, Oregon. Wow, they got pictures. Oh my god, how many of these things they sold? Jiminy crickets. I know a lot of them went to New Zealand. A bunch. Oh, J.M. Browning. Axeman, folks. Mike Field. Axeman. Turner. Let's see if anybody I work for is on here. Boulder. Like I say, there's that M&D. I know them. Morel. Oh man, that's a smoking hot company to work for. Puckett. Deans. Ryan Templeton. I know him. Huffman, right? They're down south of us. Real good. They're pretty good size outfit. Precision Thinning, Roseburg. I'm not seeing anybody that I've worked for. How can that? Oh, Iron Horse. I haven't worked for them, but how can that be? I've worked for plenty of people that bought brand new Agnes. Van Wall, Pacific. Sutherland, Rose. I worked for them. Hey, I bet that, yeah, that's the 739 I ran. New Zealand, Camas Valley. Brewer, Hubbard. Holy crap, they sold a lot of these. Weyerhaeuser, Springfield. There's got to be one more that I worked for. Commercial Thinning. One of my douchebag brothers works there.
You're with Triple T, right?
No.
No.
How you doing? So, we got turned down. And as I was pulling up here, I told the wife, I hope I get to talk to that brother. Because,
Hey, you still working for Kelly Brothers?
no, God, no, I haven't worked there. Anyway, sorry. That was the older brother. They're not going to let me. And I understand why, and I get it. Because of where their location is, even though it's gated all the way around, they have a lot of theft issues. And so they don't want to put it out there. But he did have me go back and take a look at a Diamond 210 swing yarder. That the guy that owned it was a hobby logger. The guy's got way too much money. Anyways, this thing is, oh wow. 6,200 original hours. and it's absolutely set up for ease of, like I was saying, with the vise, and he's got 3 different receptacles. He actually took the time and ran grease lines all the way up to the top of the tube so you could grease the shivs up there rather than waiting, you know, to lay it down, it moves or whatnot. It's a nice machine. So bummer, because they got a lot of cool iron out there, old iron. They did let me go back and take a look at a Diamond 210 that is absolutely amazing, set up exactly the way I said I'd like to have one, with the, we're home, yay, vices and the you know, the hitch receptacle pull things. It actually had 3 of them on one, you know, on the machine. Orange and gray, 6,200 hours. Really, really nice machine. So, you know, I guess what I'm saying is, if a guy was getting ready to, you know, wanted to go buy a yarder thinning machine or whatever, the 210 and the 6140 absolutely would be perfect options. Difference is the 210 is a 3/4 inch Skyline machine. It's got mounds and mounds and mounds of speed, and it is fairly powerful. The 6140 is a 7/8 machine, so it's got just a wee bit more power, and it's got that bigger Skyline, so we got to get rid of that. You know, you can get bigger stuff, get a little heavier, so on and so forth. Just depends on where, you know, what kind of wood you think you might be logging or whatnot. So, yes. Oh man, I really wish they would have let me at least take video of that 210 Diamond to kind of show you guys the difference, you know, and what I was talking about on the I hate it when I go brain dead. Vice, you know, and a little work table thing, and the difference in working for somebody that wants you to take care of your cab and stuff, because this thing was clean, and the little extras he did to it, you know, like running the grease lines all the way up the top, and nice machine. Hopefully someday we can get that. Hey, I also wanted to mention, and I didn't while I was doing it because I always think of this stuff later, but the numbers on the yarders, like the 6140, you know, there's TTY, TSY, and then TMY. TTY is Thunderbird Tower Yarder, TSY is Thunderbird Swing Yarder, TMY is Thunderbird Mobile Yarder, and then the numbers, it used to be TMY 70, TMY 50, TSY 255, and now it's 6150, 6170. That the difference in the lettering or numbering is the newer version, the next step up. So if you notice that 255 there, how high the cab and everything was, and then the 6140, how low it was. Well, the cab on Rose's 50, remember, it was up there. Well, the TMY 6150s, the cab's low, like the 6140, which is supposed to, you know, help engineer doesn't have to climb up and down as far and all that. But I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. The difference in the numbers is, you know, upgrades to the same machine and so on and so forth. So I had been asked that before, and like I say, when I'm doing the videos, I always forget those little things like that. So you're getting it now, okay, man?